What's up guys, and welcome back to a Pokemon Sun and Moon video, and today we are going to be looking at something I mentioned in one of the videos the other day, which was a video discussing the Moon Starter possibility, and that is the parallel between Sun and Moon of beasts and humans. It's just sort of a very rounded way of describing it, but as you'll see, I felt like it deserved its own video because it is a bit of a thing which could be, drawn out into other aspects of the games as well. Basically what this is that it seems like there is a parallel or a theme between the two games where Pokemon Sun has a lot of Pokemon or characters that resemble beasts or are beast-like in their appearance, whereas Pokemon Moon has characters and Pokemon that are more humanoid, that are more, more similar, I guess you could say, to people, to humans in their form or in their personality, as opposed to the equivalents in Sun. So we're going to go through all the equivalents in each game and discuss why these fit these certain categories, and then talk about what this might mean for future possibilities as well. First up, of course, the first exclusiveness between the two games is, of course, we have Solgaleo in Sun and Lunala in Moon. Now, what helps make these two into beasts and humans respectively? Well, Solgaleo, of course, is based on a lion. It's beast-like, I suppose, in its appearance. It's on 4 legs. 4 legs is one sort of main thing we're going to be looking at for this theme, I guess you could say. But it's beast-like in its appearance, based on a lion, 4 legs, etc. Whereas Lunala, yes, okay, it's still based on an animal, similar to a bat, but it does have a sort of a humanoid appearance. It has an actual head, I suppose, with a small neck and a main body. Yes, okay, it doesn't have arms and legs as such. It has its wings, which are similar to arms, and it has the lower half of its body, which you could liken to legs if you really wanted to. But it is slightly more humanoid in its main body, body figure. If you were to, obviously get a human figure and have a scale on similarity, obviously the sort of the head, the body, and the wings is closer than being 4-legged, So that's how it fits in there. It's nothing too clear on that one, but as you can see, if we go on, it becomes a bit clear. Because the next thing we look at is the exclusive Ultra Beasts we have seen so far, which is UBO2 for each version. Pokemon Sun gets UBO2 Absorption, and Pokemon Moon gets UBO2 Beauty. Now, straight off, you can see there is a very human-like appearance to UBO2 Beauty, because it's basically the same body style as you would have. You have a head, you have a neck, body, arms, and then legs. Yes, okay, humans don't necessarily have these 2 long antennas and don't have this sweeping hair all the way down to the feet, basically, but it's similar to a human. It's a humanoid body, basically, whereas Absorption, you could argue it's a humanoid body because it has head, body, arms, and legs. Yes, it's similar. It's similar in Solgaleo, for example, but looking closer at UBO2 Absorption, you can see that it has bulging red muscles, as well as also having 4 legs again. So it's slightly more humanoid, but I don't know any humans that have. There are humans that have 4 legs. You guys know that, but you guys, you know what I mean there. It's bulging red muscles. It's beast-like in its appearance. It's beastly, more beastly than UBO2 Beauty is, of course. So there's that. Then the next version exclusive Pokemon forms, in this case, that were revealed was, of course, Lycanroc, which has got its midday form in Pokemon Sun and its midnight form in Pokemon Moon. Taking a look at the midday form, you can say it's based on your classic wolf or dog-like appearance, 4 legs, tail, head, everything like that. And you can argue that obviously wolves are beasts in some aspects, whereas if we look at Pokemon Moon's equivalent, which is the midnight form, it's based on a werewolf. You could argue because it's a werewolf, it's a beast, but remember where werewolves come from. It was mythology, where humans turn into werewolves on the full moon. That's what lycanthropy is all about. So obviously werewolves link in better with sort of a human basis, a humanoid basis, than a normal wolf does, of course. So there is that. Again, we have the 4 legs for Lycanroc as well, whereas we have 2 legs for the 4 legs for the midday form, 2 legs for the midnight form. Then we had the other 2 version exclusive Pokemon revealed the other day, which of course were Persimmon and Oranguru. Now, straight off the bat, you couldn't really say, oh yeah, this is a beast or this is a human, because of course they're both based on monkeys of some sort. Obviously, Persimmon being based on some form of lemur, or Simian is obviously in its name. So, whereas Oranguru is based on an orangutan, because Oran is right in the name there. So straight off the bat you could say, well, they're both humanoid, they're both based on monkeys, and monkeys are very similar to humans. Yes, you could say that. However, if we take a closer look at the descriptions given to us on the Sun and Moon website, we can see a bit of a difference there. Before that even, we can see that Persimmon is on its 4 legs. Yes, okay, it can probably stand on 2 legs, but you can see generally it's crouched over as opposed to being stood up fully. And Oranguru is, when it's sat down, in what we've seen of it, but you can imagine it standing up on those 2 feet and obviously then using its hands for its fan, because obviously it can't really use its crouch over onto 4 legs, I suppose, because it's got its fan to hold. Whereas yes, okay, Persimmon has its ball, but it's slightly different. So Oranguru and Persimmon, we have 2 descriptions for them. Persimmon, we are told that it actually likes to live in troops, basically, is what's described at 20 to 30 individuals with a leader. Now, yes, okay, you could still argue, obviously this sort of basis comes from an American football team, because obviously troops, working as a teamwork and stuff like that, working as a team, teamwork, etc. You could argue that, but living in troops is something more seen in, general wildlife and, not human. It's not human behaviour for us to, yes, okay, maybe if you argue when we, previously, when we used to, years ago, we lived in camps and, whereas today you live in a house with a few people possibly. Back in the old days, yes, okay, you might still have a house with 1 or 2 people, but you lived in a close-knit community. You would have a tribe of some sort. You could argue that's where it could possibly come from. But generally nowadays, you're more likely to see a troop-like sort of behaviour from actual animals, so lions and stuff like that. Whereas, it's not as likely to be seen in humans. Yes, okay, we live together, but we don't live in huge groups all working together to survive. Whereas Oranguru, we are given in its description, we are told that they were originally called, long ago people thought they were actually people dwelling in the forests, but so they were called the people of the forests. And as well as this, we're told that they can sometimes act on their own initiative and will use items that only humans normally use, and allegedly there have been sightings of Oranguru using Pokeballs. So that's quite a weird one there, but you can see it's very similar. It's got human-like nature. People have mistaken them for humans, so there's a strong human link with Oranguru, whereas Persimmon is more linked with the troops to wildlife, I suppose, and living out in the wild. So there is that. That's all the version exclusives we've had confirmed so far. We don't know if any Pokemon we've had already revealed could possibly be version exclusive or not. We don't know. But there is also, as I mentioned in the Moon Starters video, the fact that we have these 3 leaked Final Evolution starter Pokemon. We have this owl, owl archer. We have the wrestling kitten, wrestling cat, wrestling tiger, I suppose you could say actually, and then the siren sea lion. Now, in the Moon Starters video, I said, this is the whole theory behind the Moon Starters, the fact that they are from Moon, because we have this link here. Yes, okay, they are based on night creatures with the owl and such, but we also have the link of the humanoids, because if you look at all 3 of their designs, the owl is on 2 feet, using its wings, I suppose, as methods of attack. The tiger is again humanoid, whereas looking at Litten, you might expect it to evolve into a quadruped, tiger or lion or other big cat when it got to its final form, whereas this one is on 2 legs. And then obviously the siren is a bit slightly different, because it's a siren, it's a sea lion. We weren't looking at, we weren't really looking at Popplio in the first case and saying, oh yeah, it's going to evolve into be a humanoid basically. So it's possible it could be based on a moon, because obviously more being a moon version, because we have sirens, night and such, and it could fit this whole style of Moon as well, Moon being a very mystical sort of theme. If it became like a water fairy or water psychic type, it would fit in the theme there. But that's the only starter I'd say you could possibly switch over between the 2 versions, because it has some, you could possibly have a humanoid Popplio final form if it were to grow up to be something similar to that. But of course, if we have these 3 Pokemon, we say they're from Pokemon Moon, then obviously we have similar equivalents in Pokemon Sun. Now, this keeps the dream alive of the Litten final form being a quadruped, being based on a tiger, being a fire poison type or something crazy like that, and actually looking really, really cool, and obviously a lot more people liking it. It would redeem these starters for us. And of course you could have similar thing for Rowlet's final evolution for Sun. One idea I keep bringing up is a Griffin. I did see someone mention in the comment section where they did the Moon starters that, yes, okay, they can't be too different, because of course they have to share the same name if it's a similar sort of mechanic to like Canrock. Yes, that's true, they will have to share the same name if it's similar, but that doesn't mean you couldn't make it more drastically different. Because of course, the Litten final evolution here, one fan name that's been going around is Beltigre, because obviously that fits this one here, but you could still probably fit the same name onto the Sun version, because obviously it's still based on a tiger, and the bell might just come from somewhere different. You guys get the idea there. And obviously the Rowlet one, yes, okay, it's going to have maybe Robin root there, would make sense. And you could still have it similar here. The Griffin, maybe you could have a similar sort of roots going out there. You guys get the idea. And as I mentioned, Popplio, that's the only Pokemon I see possibly being a Sun starter rather than a Moon one, because of the fact that it's sat down, I suppose you could say. It's got a tail and front legs, I suppose, rather than being properly humanoid. And you could possibly see a Popplio final evolution that's humanoid, who knows? Or the Pokemon Sun Popplio final evolution might be even more beast-like than that. It might end up being something similar to, something, I don't know, a four-legged creature again. But yes, so let me know down below what you think. Do you think, there is a beast-human parallel between the two games of Sun and Moon? Do you think that's the idea they're going for, to have Sun be full of actual Pokemon beasts, whereas the sort of the basis for the Pokemon in Pokemon Moon, or the ones that are exclusive to it, is more human-like because it's more mystical and more, I don't want to go that mystical. You guys get the idea. So let me know what you think down below about that, and if you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the like button. But for now, I'll be seeing you next time. Thank you for watching. Goodbye, my friends.